And our next guest tonight here on Punky's MixTape is hailing from right here in Central Maine. I'd like everybody to welcome Brandon and Caleb of Serling. How we doing?
What's up?
What's up? Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming to hang out, and happy Halloween. Thanks for doing the Spooktacular with us.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, any spooky plans for Halloween coming up? Just out of curiosity.
No, just no one trick or treats at my house, so I buy candy and I just eat it.
Same here. Middle of the woods, and nobody comes out here, so that's
Well,
fine.
my wife bought a bunch of candy, and there's a lot of Reese cups that are white chocolate, so we're gonna have candy for next year too.
Just nobody's gonna eat them. Like, what the fuck?
No.
I'm gonna eat them when I come
butter?
over.
I mean, all right. I guess
Oh, that's good.
Somebody might eat it. Well, at least when he comes to visit, he's got candy when he visits.
Yeah.
So you two make up the band Serling, which is described as a Twilight Zone inspired math metal band.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct there.
Pretty much nails it, yeah.
So for my audience that may not be familiar, what would you say math metal is in your thoughts?
Math metal is a little bit more loose, so to speak. There is certain music, like gent and things like that out there, progressive metal. Everything seems to be really tight, really just on the nose, in the grid. There's no little mistakes, no little nuances in there, but with mathcore, things tend to get loosened up a little bit, and but still implementing odd time signatures, or if something's in 4/4, maybe on the second or third time around we add a little thing just to throw things off kilter a little bit, just to make things more fun for us, because we've been jamming a lot and playing a lot of different styles of music together, and staying in 4/4, we tend to lose track of where we are unless we throw in something stupid. Oh, that happened. So we're on the third one. One more to go, and then we can move on to the next riff. So by making things more difficult, it makes things easier for us. So
That's honestly one of my favorite things. I mean, I remember being the year 2000 and seeing the Dillinger Escape Plan in August 2001 on Calculating Infinity Tour before they were blown up, and the beloved band that is the Dillinger Escape Plan now. My first experience with mathcore, math metal, and it blew my fucking mind, because it kind of embodies the spirit of punk rock and that ethos, and just like being willing to really push the confines of what you could put within a song, but on a much more technical level. And that aspect I've always been attracted to as an artist.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's a beautiful genre. Like, you don't even really need to be like an incredible shreddy player. There's not that much of that going on in mathcore, so to speak. It's mostly just, guys spending a month trying to get a couple riffs down because they're just so fucking difficult. And then that is the best part. And it's just two chords, maybe doing some noise thing, but we're thinking on all different levels here and just trying to jump through a polyrhythm without getting distracted by what the other person's doing. And that hard work just pays off for us. We become better musicians, and a lot less people listen.
Caleb has a whiteboard in the jam room that sometimes we have to write down what we're doing. Like, we just have to write how many times we're going to do stuff, because if we don't, we're never going to replicate it once we leave that room.
Becoming so niche that it'll just be like, hopefully you don't get so niche that it's just the two of you listening.
I mean, that's how it started, and that'll be how it ends.
Absolutely.
Oh man. And that's half the fun, is just really seeing what even for myself, it's like pushing yourself as an artist with a group of other musicians and really seeing what you can do. And you're absolutely right. Tracking those polyrhythms. So like right now you're a 2-piece, and for some people in a 4 or 5-piece, tracking that and making sure it lines up, and it's a pain in the ass, but when it does, it's truly worth like the months and months of work to get that right. It really is.
Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
And that obviously directly reflects within the EP that you guys had just put out just a couple of months ago now, not too long.
Yeah, it was like mid-August, I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so just a few months back, the James Beavis Chronicles. Now that's a name that stands out. When I was curious, so like, what is the story behind the James Beavis Chronicles?
So let's see if I can actually get this right. We did an interview recently where I totally botched what episode it was from. So the name itself is really just based on a character from an episode. James Beavis is just like this quirky guy where everything in his life is just not going right. And so he has like a guardian angel of some sorts that like makes his life perfect. And he just comes to realize like, I like my life the way that it was, you know, even though my car's crap, I lost my job, everything, like I just liked my life because now that everything's perfect, like it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel authentic. So there's just the name I just thought of, and I just ran it by Caleb because I mean, Caleb and I, we're a two-piece, so we just run everything by each other. You only need to get one person's approval, so it makes it way easier.
It's so incredible.
So, I mean, the name itself was really just, we like this character. It's everything we do is based on the Twilight Zone, pretty much. So, you know, just what do you think of this name? Because the songs themselves are each based off favorite episodes of ours from each season of the Twilight Zone. And then our intro track is just a culmination of all the different intros from Rod Serling himself. So, yeah, the EP name itself was really just another way to pay homage to the show that we love so much. We dedicated a friggin' band to it. So yeah,
which is pretty awesome. And when you think about it, especially after hearing what Caleb just said, with James Beavis realizing that perfection is not what makes life good, it's those imperfections, it's those small gritty moments that make things a little bit more real and tangible. It's kind of a great way to kind of parallel what you're trying to go with as the band and the style as well, because it's those small little imperfections of what really makes things great.
Yeah, it's something that I always take care of while I'm doing the recordings here. Like there's some parts there where normally I would cut out this little bit of noise, or I made whatever with the guitar, but no, it stays. Or every time I breathe in to do a vocal, like more often than not, you'll hear the before I even belt out a track. Usually that gets cut. That's doing vocals 101, just cut all that stuff. But no, I keep it in just to make sure we have that raw feel and bringing back those nuances that I liked from older albums like early Dillinger, The Chariot, all of those bands that always tend to have like a lot of feedback, early Glassjaw, stuff like that I really enjoy. And it's been going away, which makes me sad, but I'm just trying to fight to keep that stuff going.
And I feel like especially with keeping like the inhales and the exhales in, there's a very live primalness to that where you just and for me, like you listen to like old Dillinger, old Glassjaw, when you hear that, that's the way that you recreate it when you're singing it along in the shower, in the car, wherever you listen to music, you know. And that's part of it, and it just adds to the intensity of it, and I think it adds to the emotional connection as well, because it is so primal, it is so raw. And I think that's what I really like about the EP that instantly caught my attention, because it's something that is familiar, but also something I haven't heard in years, you know? So I was really excited when I had seen some buddies, because we got a lot of mutual friends out there, posting about the band. And I think the first was through Granite Tomb Records, through Taylor, who you guys had worked with on the EP, right?
Yeah, I was really looking for someone to try and help us, like, you know, just get out there, like just get our music out there. Like, who do I know that can help us do this? And Taylor had recently started Granite Tomb Records, and so I asked him, like, hey, can you help us get our stuff on Bandcamp, streaming, you know, just get stuff out there. We'll make our own socials, but I just need some help. I was inexperienced. And I sent Taylor an early track. I was like, hey, what do you think? He listened to it and he said, this is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I'll release this with you guys. So yeah, he was a big help with really helping us get that out there.
And that's awesome, because that's exactly how I had heard about it. Now I'm like, dude, I need everybody to know about Serling. And I think all the mixtapers tonight are going to be pretty pleased to hear what we're bringing to the table tonight. I mean, whenever we do a special episode, we never hold back, and I needed to find the right alignment of artists tonight to really hit the point. And you guys, with the embodiment of Rod Serling himself, just coursing through the songs, it was everything that I needed for tonight, and I'm so excited to be able to share a chunk of the EP with everybody tonight. So you're working hard behind the scenes, getting stuff ready from when the world opens up. You got any upcoming plans or things that you can tell us about?
Yeah, we get a bunch. I keep messaging Caleb like every day with something new that comes up. So I mean, biggest thing for us right now, we're working on our full length. We got 10 songs ready for it. You know, drums are all done. Caleb has most of his parts done for, I'd say, like half the songs so far. So Caleb's got to do the other half of the songs, and then we got to do all the vocals to them. We got 5 features lined up for that full length, so we got those sent out, and we're pretty stoked on that. And it's going to be a huge release when it comes out. We got details that we'll be sharing throughout the future that aren't public now, but they will be.
But they will be
sick. It's
well,
we got that. I mean, we got a bunch of stuff. I mean, Alec Jones, who runs Call Me Armageddon, he does like compilation albums on Bandcamp. We were on his volume 2. We got a fresh track we're making for his volume 3. We just did a feature track for Buddy Brandon. He's going to be releasing the stuff soon. We recently got asked to do a split release with some bands. Like things have just blown up. And it's really awesome. You know, it's keeping us busy, that's for sure, because we have multiple music projects that we do, and just this one is just taken off more than most of the others. So we're pretty excited. Am I missing anything, Caleb?
Nope. We're just working on the full length. Got a couple projects in the works. We're not necessarily doing shows at the moment, just because we're trying to get all of the studio stuff done in a timely manner, and just trying to make sure the timing of everything works out just fine. But yeah, that's about it. So we're just balls deep and working on this full length right now is what's happening.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that at all. And I'll tell you what, I will be patiently waiting that release. And, you know, once things do open back up and you guys get some stuff scheduled, I'm going to be right there, because you're actually just like almost like a stone's throw away from me, from where I am. Here I am on the top of MixTape Mountain in my secret undisclosed location.
I think you're actually located in between us.
I think so. Yeah, I'm like a Serling sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
This has been awesome. But you know,
really excited to have you guys on. But I think everybody is going to be really stoked to check out the EP. So let's check out a couple of tracks. I want to thank you for hanging out tonight. Guests have been Brandon and Caleb of Serling. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, buddy.
Spooky.